my honor to announce that Gabriella Greenhoward is a recipient of the Moravian College.
I was so surprised, like, oh my goodness, when he said it, I was like, let me take a deep breath and collect myself, and I was so in shock. I didn't know if I should like go up to the front right away or just like stay where I was, and I was like, oh my God. For my essay, I wanted to explain like kind of like a little bit like my life story in a condensed version, just to show like what experiences I've gone through that have gotten me to this point in my life. So I just talked a little bit about my childhood, where I grew up. Then I spoke about Hurricane Sandy, which destroyed my house in New York, which is why we moved here. And I used to come when I was little because of the cup. Like that was like the big thing. So the weekend before, or the weekend of Thanksgiving, we would come, get the cup, hang out in Bethlehem, and then after the storm, my parents were like, hey, like, do you want to try and rebuild our lives here, or do you want to just go out on a limb and try something new? And I'd lived in the same house for 12 years, so I was like, you know what, like, let's do it. Like, I will go. And we moved into it. We downsized for sure. Like, I lived in a house my whole life. I had my own room, and then I was in a small apartment sharing with my sister, but I honestly wouldn't change a thing. I learned something from that too, sharing and doing all that. And I am so like thrilled to be here, and that I feel like I have been noticed, and somebody has seen the goodness in me, and I am so excited to pursue Moravian and do everything I can to make my scholarship worth it in my life.
Well, it's a wonderful opportunity that Moravian College provides to two of our graduates, One Liberty, One Freedom each year. The challenge is that there are so many students that apply who are just outstanding young people and outstanding students and who really want to attend Moravian as well. So it makes the choice very difficult. So there's a lot of joy for the recipients, but it's tempered with knowing that a number of students didn't receive the recognition.
So congratulations. What's surprised you is that you are the Liberty High School recipient of the Superintendents Moravian College Scholarship. Congratulations.
275 years ago, Moravian College was founded, and it was founded uniquely to educate those of the rich, those of the poor, those of the noble, and those of the ignoble. We have to give back to our community, and the greatest gift any of us can give is the education of a young person. So this is the way Moravian can give back to the city that gives us so much, that gives us fire, police, protection, roads. We can give back by educating one of their own at our college.
So we're in the hallway, we're dodging people because they're giving tours today to like middle school kids. And then all of a sudden she just stops here and she points into the room, and I'm like, okay, what's the big deal? And then like it didn't register with me, and then she's like, you won, go in. And I was like, what? Like I wasn't registering it. I was like, no, I didn't. Like, this is a joke. Like, you're playing a practical joke on me. This isn't real. And then when I got inside, I was like, I should have dressed up today. Like, that was my initial thing. I was like, I should have listened to my mother. I should have dressed up today.
People don't know, my daughter has a disability. She's legally blind in one eye. So she's always been a fighter since she was little. She almost died when she was born, and she's had a disability where she really can't see the board. You know, it's hard for her to study. It was hard for her to learn how to read. So she's always been very stubborn in nature. And what I mean by that is she's never thought that she couldn't do something. She's always worked so hard for everything. You know, my oldest daughter's at Boston University, and we kind of struggled to afford it financially. So college was never out of the question for her. We were just kind of thinking, like, how are we going to do this? You know, how are we going to pay for your college? And I feel like as a student overall, you know, just her goals, just the way she works for everything, how she never gives up. You know, there's times where, you know, we had to kind of talk to the teacher and say, hey, can you move her up? Because she can't see. You know, because she didn't want people to know that she had a disability, because she didn't want special treatment for it. And that to me spoke more of her character, that she wanted to work for everything, even if it meant working harder or studying longer. She kind of was like, this isn't gonna stop me, Mom. And that's how she's been. And I think that just because of that alone, I think she's really deserving of this.